All right. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. We're actually going to do a little bit of a test here too. So with the new card came new software. So I'm just wanted to check some sound. So let me know if the sound is okay here. And then I'm going to switch it to kind of another scene that's in here. It was the old Chinese New Year intro, but I have a different sound is good here. Okay. So I'm going to switch it now. It's gonna go back to the Chinese New Year intro slide, just because that's a scene that's saved on here, and I want you to tell me what the mic sounds like different, if it how it sounds compared to this one. So you should be able to hear the birds behind me now, but let me know if you can hear it there. All right, I can see. Oops, hold on. There you go. So the music should turn off now, so you should be able to hear me. It looks like it's a little bit loud. Let me see. There, that's probably a bit better in that range right there. But let me know. Can you still hear the birds? Yeah, it's a lot louder. Yeah, it should be. Yeah, I'm trying to adjust that. Yeah, yeah. It's because you have to set the decibels in each of them. Wait, it's Chinese New Year. No, it was. It was. It will again, right? But yeah, maybe just a little bit higher there. Yeah, so this would be like the sound level, right? But I'm looking for just the quality differences. And can you hear the birds? Like the birds, can you hear the birds in the background or no? Yep, sound good. Can still hear the birds. Okay, yeah, I don't know. It says it has canceling. I don't know all the things, but I was like, all right, I don't want to just filter this thing in here without fully understanding it. Um, but again, birds is a very specific kind of loud noise. I thought I had that on there. Let me see. Microphone. No microphone. I have noise removal. Let me see. Is there another one? Um, room echo removal. Hmm. I don't know what that is. I don't know if there's a room. I don't know. It's in beta, so sure, try it. Um, I don't know. We'll see. Uh, quality is more full sounding with this one. Yeah, the other one has a lot of settings in it, but this is one that a lot of people have kind of raved about. And people are like, there's camera settings for it too. It's still technically in beta. It actually comes. This is all coming through NVIDIA through the new video card. But like I said, it doesn't have some of the options, but yeah, I'll have to try to like go back and listen to it and see if I can tell a difference between the two. But yeah, anyway, so that's the microphone. So I'm gonna switch back to the other one because that's what the slide is set up for, and we'll see. But it's funny. I mean, the software that the original one, this one, it has all kinds of functions in it. It's like crazy, but it just supposedly people said it just doesn't filter as well. Although it has like a million different settings on there, but you're still bringing it in through the same level of microphone, and it seems like the other one is supposed to scrub it better. I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of the difference between one is the one that comes. It's one of them is a Logitech program, and one of them is more of a I guess it's through Nvidia, so different chip producer. Anyway, all right, let's dive into things today. Melissa actually has a call at 10:30, so I need to make sure that I'm off to grab the baby today. Um, all right, so really, the only thing that has any power right now is the pound. Pound dollar at 51, pound yen up 94, euro pound down 45. It's kind of the only movement we really have. I mean, dollar's moving a little bit, euro dollar's down, obviously pound dollar's down, Aussie dollar down about 30. Everything is pretty much well within its ATR range for the day. CPI has been pretty mixed. Last night coming in, as expected in the point 0.8, it didn't even light up as a color, so it wasn't seen as enough of a variation to really kind of be a major market mover. I think people were expecting a lot more from it. I was expecting more from it. I mean, you can see that the trim went higher, and then this is just slightly higher, but it's not even green right now. It's considered like a black release. Like it's not enough to be earth shattering. So we saw that, and then the Canadian news this morning was kind of split, right? A little bit of red over here, some adjustments in the past. Again, all of this one it was trim, but it came in as expected. The 2.4 is better than the 2.3. The point 0.3, it's green, or I'm sorry, it's red, but it's still a positive number, meaning that inflation is still continuing to gain. Um, it's kind of one of those ones. It's kind of hard to take a lot of readings from that one. And the dollar CAD is, it's going up a bit. Or I'm sorry, it's going up a bit. I wouldn't say that, again, this is weakness, but I don't think it's as much weakness as they've, could have got there. Had that been a negative number, then yeah, that would have been a lot more Canadian weakness in there. And again, yesterday the CAD was already moving up. It was kind of set up more for a big beat, but again, these are kind of some confusing numbers. 10:30 today, we have crude oil, so we'll kind of see how that one rolls out. The API number on that one was definitely more negative than expected, right? Um, their forecasting was minus 3.4, and it came in minus 4.7. Um, Forex Factory has over here minus 2.6, so the forecast is a bit off versus anything else. FOMC today should be pretty interesting. I don't know if you caught the Nadex broadcast or not, but uh, you know, it's kind of one of those things. I guess it really depends on the narrative that you believe. Obviously, inflation is higher than expected. There were some articles about how it was higher, and they were kind of expecting, maybe some changes out there with it. I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be a lot of wait and see today. To see if they're taking that stance that, hey, listen, maybe we got to start the taper sooner. I mean, they're obviously not raising. I mean, if they raised interest rates, I mean, that would be like the point oh one surprise, right? I think I'm pretty sure it's 99.9, or maybe it's 99.5. Maybe it does go higher than that. Chance that they are not raising the Fed funds rate. I think that would be shocking. Everybody would be like, "What? Wait, who? What? Where did I wake up? Am I still dreaming?" Um, but taper would come first, and I just don't feel like that's going to be the case. Anything that could risk collapsing the economy, I just don't think it's there. Excuse me. I've had one full cup of coffee, but it's just not working today. I was up at like 6, and I was like, "Oh God." Um, and I think the FOMC press conference could provide some fun today, but I don't know. I feel like it being kind of the dead of the summer right now. Everything we're hearing about, the Delta variant, Delta variant, Delta variant, I think is, again, here you have Europe, COVID-19 in Europe, here we go again. Um, you know, you can see all the hottest news stories, or like the latest ones are all, Fed distress, patience, and scaling back as virus threat lurks. It's this, right? And this is in Canada, right? Um, this is ours, but it's a .ca. Um, Kind of one of those things, right? It's like, yeah, I just feel like, you know, the virus is like it doesn't matter what the actual. I feel like this is like it's like an opinion article, right? It doesn't matter what the facts are. You can sway it any way that you want. It doesn't matter what the numbers say right now. The great unknown is the virus, and is it going to spread again? And really, I mean, I said it at the end of the day. I mean, even if it spreads again, or we closing things down, no, we're not going to risk putting the economy through that again. We're just getting back, right? So even if it does start to spread, I mean, what's really going to change? Masks. I mean, do masks affect the economy? Not really, right? I mean, if they close like inside dining and outdoor dining and stuff like that, then yes, unemployment rates will spike again. Um, but I haven't heard. I mean, people are just talking about no, just wear a mask. It's the unvaccinated. I'm not worried about them, right? That's all we keep hearing. So I don't know. I just feel like it is the ultimate threat, right? It's the ultimate threat. We don't know what's going to happen with the virus, and we're going to do absolutely nothing. Like when you don't know, it's just put our head in the sand like an ostrich, and pretend that nothing's ever happening. That kind of seems to be what the Fed is talking about. So we'll see. I mean, maybe there. I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's what's going to come out of Powell today, and then Harkin will start. Some of the other presidents are going to start, chiming off tomorrow and about I voted for this. We need to take our, we need to be concerned. Um, and again, even from the White House, yeah, we got to stem that long term inflation. We got to get rid of it, right? But yet it's we got to get rid of it or prevent it, but it's here. I don't know. Tomorrow morning, right? 8:30 we have advanced GDP. I love the fact that it's 8.5. The price index again still going higher. Unemployment claims 820 is higher than what we've had for the expectation. You can see that they were stuck with that 850. They're starting to go higher. Now, the unemployment claims thing is interesting because there's article after article after article that talks about people are leaving their jobs left and right. Why? Because there's such a shortage on people working right now. Um, it's whoever has the highest bidder, right? It's kind of like, wait a second, I can go across the street and make 20% more. Sounds good. I'm doing it. So it's interesting that you're seeing the unemployment claims rise there as well because I don't know many businesses that are closing down. Businesses are looking for more employees. So it's kind of interesting to see that this is rising higher. But yeah, the expectation has risen from 350 up to 385 or 382. They're not expecting to make a change, but pretty much every time there's a previous revision, if that previous revision drops below 300, then they're they're cooking the books, cooking the books. Um, don't give them any ideas. I'm sure that the pro lockdown forces are foaming at the mouth. Yeah, I don't know. It's the fact that the CDC made that change yesterday that they're talking about in areas where there's, high, case volumes now need to go back inside with the masks on again. I don't know. I mean, like, it seems like the data is skewed, right? Whether a mask actually works or a mask doesn't work. And is it the mask that is working, or is it the mask and the combination of not touching your face, or is it the hand washing that's doing it, or is it the sanitation that's doing it? It really can't get tied back to one thing, right? Um, I don't know. It's one of those kind of interesting stories. And like I said, I mean, I was around, in the spring with the baby and stuff, and I helped out with the boys a bit. Um, you can see, kids are in school, right? They're supposed to wear masks all day, but kids aren't the best with the masks, right? You're constantly telling them, "Hey, put your mask on. Put your mask on. Put your mask." I mean, it only takes them sneezing one time in the classroom, and like basically everybody's infected. Um, they cough on their sleeve, then they eat with no mask on, right? And they're white. Kids are they don't use utensils; they're always using their hands, right? And then they touch their desks, and then you don't sanitize the desks in between kids, and then another kid gets up and then touches him. It's so I don't know. We'll see. As long as we don't go Zoom school again, I'm good. That is the only thing. I can't do another year of Zoom school. Um, like I said, I think the detrimental effects are what's a bigger issue, right? Um, even by the end, I mean, you could tell the difference. I mean, they were trying to get every single kid back to school because the long term effects of those kids not having the socialization with other people is probably going to be more detrimental. Both my kids were like, "Yeah, I don't want to go back to school," but once they got back to school, they were fine. They were having blasts with their friends, playing at recess, and that kind of stuff. It was definitely a big boost for my kids. Um, you know, as with most kids, and yeah, it's real. So that's what we got for tomorrow. So let's dive right into charts and see what we got. So here's Australia. So in the overnight, here's where the news kind of came in. It really wasn't a. I mean, I really felt like we were going to get some type of a spike up. I was really looking forward to taking a short there, but the news really came in as really unimpactful. Really wasn't really necessarily miss, and I think a lot of people expected it to. Again, everything out of New Zealand was great. Australia, not so much. And again, we were kind of not sure what was going to happen because with those four cities locked down, that was obviously going to put a little crimp on things, and we knew that going in, but I still feel like people still expected a bit more inflation there. So there was quite a disappointment when it didn't work and then kind of came down now. It hasn't been a sharp, real fast drop down. It's been pretty much a grind, that impulse correction all the way to the downside. And you can see that same level. Look, we hit it here. So, I mean, you had your one, two, three, and actually, technically, it based on number four and dropped. The next area where we have potential sellers coming in or buyers coming in is this 73.16. It's a decent level. I like the base. The red is the low candle. You got a decent push. I'd have liked if it was the big green off of there, but it did give us three straight out before the next base. And again, we knew that this last level is held. There's a decent level there, and then we have one much, much lower down here at 70 to 70. This will be affected by any of the FOMC news today, primarily because again, it's a proxy for gold, which again will be linked through inflation. It has a dollar involved with it, so there's a lot of different features that will be kind of in this one. This may be a way to kind of get, again, if you're going to trade it with Nadex, this may be a way to kind of get a sneaky kind of trade in there. There probably won't be as much premium baked into this one as maybe some of the other pairs. So it may, and again, you never know. Sometimes the knockouts and call spreads are very, very funky positions. Even some of the binaries when they print are kind of weird. We may get better opportunity in this one because it kind of flies under the radar. So, again, we can maybe try that one. But I think if we get if we get to this, 10:30 time frame, we start seeing reversals at 10:30, 11 o'clock at that 71.16. I think we could probably take a bounce. It's probably clear to move from that level. Probably back up into this range. Like I said, that's where the last bit of basing on the test was. It's about 30 pips. So, I mean, this is not like a long-term runner for like 180 pips or something like that. But I think it's probably a decent kind of intraday level. Um, there's a small level lower, but I think 72.70 is the next real level that I'm kind of excited about. Again, small level here, but again, just I think profit taking, reversal time, and then again, the Fed saying, "Hey, Yep, everything you're saying is right, but we don't know what's going to happen with the virus. Um, that's all the weakness you need. That's not what the inflation hawks want to hear. But we don't know, But it's that those three letters. But that's what's going to hurt us. Data's not skewed. There is not. There is nothing. I know, right? It's out of our view. It's yeah. It's and Ernest actually. Did you? I actually saw. I don't know who posted it, but a buddy of mine. I don't know who sent it to me. It was a poll taken, and it was basically like there was a mixed poll, but it wasn't like they didn't know who they were talking to. Um, when they polled, it was basically about lockdown and schools and things like that. The data was remarkably different when they polled somebody with children that had experienced remote learning versus somebody without kids. And it was interesting. It was interesting to hear the comments from the no kid pool. Yeah, it was very, very interesting. It's like, and it's kind of the same thing. It's like you don't have kids, you have no idea what it was like to have kids during that time. You don't know the detrimental effects on kids, right? You don't even like kids, but yet you want to have an opinion about what should happen with those kids, and it just makes you scratch your head a little bit, right? And yeah, so like I said, I had two that experienced it. Know many, many, many families that experienced it. You know, was in the school system to kind of see it on the back end and hear but they didn't poll me. They don't want my opinion. I'm that one jury that will never get picked because they're like, whoa, this dude's way too opinionated. He's going to sway the entire jury. If we can get him, he'll sway the entire. And I would be. Just FYI, I will never be on a jury because whatever I believe, I'll be like, this is what we're going to do, guys. And I'll be that guy that grinds it out for 36 hours. Like, you're going to vote with me. It's whether guilty or not guilty. That's it. You go with me or, that's it. I will wear everybody down. So I will be the one guy that will never be on a jury. But there's Rossi. Aussie yen, look at this. How ugly is this? Now it did spike up, and again, that was right around news time. It did give us a little, and again, it was rallying. It was set up more for short than anything else, and it came up to that same level, right? We had that area of interest level. It hit it at base, it touched and went low, and it came up and touched it again, and based in it, came up and touched it again, and well, touched it again and went lower. So at this point, 80.54 is still what I'm kind of waiting for. It's like watching paint dry at this point. Wow, Brown, you sound like no, no, it's just Neuro probably. In that situation, I would be so angry that I actually had to sit on a jury that I'd be like, "Fine, I'm just that's it. If you're willing to take the risk with me, that's what you're going to get." I don't have time for that. I understand that it's like it's your right. Yeah, I guess, but you know, I got too much stuff going on for that. There are people that would love to be on that thing, that love gossip and all that kind of drama. I don't. I don't. Um, but of course, I could be a pain if I want to be. Absolutely. Absolutely capable of that. I think most people are, right? I mean, like Debbie seems like the nicest person in the world, but I feel like if you cross Debbie, I mean, she does live in Jersey. Like, I'm sure she has like that hidden pocket with the ice pick in her purse. Like, she'll get in your car nicely, like, three shots to the side of the neck and then walk out again, right? And you'd be, nobody would have any idea what's happening, right? I feel like that's how it will work. Um, 80-50, right? 80-50, I believe is our next area. And again, confirmation bounce we could take off of it, but also again, if we get some basing in there, look for a drop and continue to push to the downside. So again, Aussie is kind of in a strange position because again, with that lockdown with multiple cities, they locked down another city there. It's kind of like, I think we have more weakness. And again, it's very, very high on the curve. So um, just needed to slip Debbie some of her favorite wine, try to push things, Uncle Paul. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying, guys. You got to watch it, right? Right? I mean, Debbie will be the one that gets in the taxi cab, three stabs in the side of the neck, and then she slides out the other side that So, an innocent bystander was like, oh, that lady just got out of the taxi, right? Have no idea. Debbie said she sounds sweet, but I feel like, you know, you don't want to anger her. You anger Ernest, he's just going to give you some old ribs, right? That's it. You're going to get the bad stuff. The spoiled meat. I'm going to smoke some spoiled meat for you. I'll get you later, like 3 days later. So yeah, Aussie dollar or Aussie yen. We'll have a little bit of a kind of a move today, but not a ton. Again, it'll be the yen that's pulling it through. Now Euro pound, we had that level. We got that very, very fast drop in the base. So yesterday we were looking for some type of opportunity to take it long, and all it did was it dropped lower and kind of based again. So this one actually was more of kind of that Harry Potter where we had a broken level, it dropped, it based, it pulled back, it hit it, and went lower. It didn't make its full target though. So this was kind of one of those ones that can be very frustrating. It only went about 20 pips. It needed to go about 28 to get to the full length, and then just kind of died, right? So it kind of stopped, it pulled back. It's still kind of in a downtrend. The lows are still higher, but now the highs are kind of basing out. Really, in this one, we've seen pound, pound, pound. I mean, you can see this one has been pretty much just pound strength since we got up to that 86.70 level. It's just been straight down. And again, there's been a bunch of these breaks and pullbacks and then continuations to the downside. Question is, could that be our next one? I mean, this is an area where we've been looking at for a while. Um, I mean, 84.90 looks good, but again, it's going to be one of those. Can we get the base, and when can we hit it? I think if we can get a European session open right here, I think that's probably it would be decent. Let me see. I'm gonna click this all or none pound. Um, yeah, I mean, there's really not a whole lot of pound news that's going to change this. Monetary supply, mortgage approvals, and net lending. Really not much there. Um, there's a lot more kind of European based data in here. So and again, GDP looking good again here. Italy is looking good. Unemployment rate on Friday. And again, they're all yellow, so they're not considered like major, like gigantic movers. But if we see a trend of good CPI, which is not bad, and then GDP looks good, GDP looks good, GDP looks good, there's enough here that I do believe we can get a reversal. So I mean, we have 2 days. I think there's some decent levels in here. I would be looking at try to find some long opportunities. 84.90 is kind of the best area, but I mean with the base right now on the bottom, I wouldn't say anything. It's like, oh, that's nice. Got to take that one. There's a knockout all the way down here. I don't even know if that one will get in play this week. I mean, it's about 50 pips. So, I mean, it's only Wednesday, so technically it is within range. But could we use our 50 pips down and then have it be decent on the top side? Probably not, right? It's just a little bit farther out there. But again, being in a call spread this week has been pretty decent to the downside. So again, it's a level. We'll see how this one works out. But right now, like I said, European market will close in 2 hours. I think this one will start to flatline, and then we'll see where we can get the biggest group of movement. Now, the big push yesterday out of this one came at 10 o'clock. So you can see that we're about to hit the 10 o'clock window. I don't know if we're going to get another spike like that again, but there's not really, we don't really have a ton today, right? Everything else is done for today, or for, here's today, right? We got really nothing. Tomorrow, a little bit more. Okay. Bring that over there. All right. Euro yen. So euro yen, we talked about being able to get short if we had a break of that 129.53. All we did was hit this level again and again. If I can get this across, you can see there was our base. There's 1, 2, 3, and then a touch, and then we hit it again, but we pushed deeper than this last high. It's set up, and again, I think we need to be cautious. I do like the way that this was ascending. The green is the the bottom. I typically like when the red was better there again. But now we've established, and again, we touched it here at 5 o'clock, right? European Open was here, right? There was the European Open, and all it did was hitting that bottom side of the channel. Drove us back up, grabbed those, and again, this was a great. I hope that you guys got into this one. This was a great one at 130.06. We've had this one marked off for a bit now. Again, very, very strong pressure that was initiated right at the open. We hit that and we pulled back, right? So I mean, there's not a trade in it right now. There's already 32 banked. You're already up. If you still held it, you were up about 20. You're about 26 in right now. Um, I would say right now, best case scenario, yeah, it got front run very, very. I mean, it did get front run. It actually tagged and it did get hit. I would say there's probably one more short sitting there at that 130.06 level. Again, it did get front run the next time it attempted to go up, but there's probably a decent trade if we can rally back up into that level. Again, if we can get there for FOMC, that would help because again, that would be yen strength coming in. Again, it's kind of a proxy through a proxy, but I think that's probably pretty decent. But if we do have a big collapse, meaning that the news this week, again, this 129.53, will it'll either not get triggered at all because the next 2 days of European data is good, or if the next 2 days start off negative and we come through in base, when we finally blow these buyers up in this level, we got a pretty decent run to the downside. So a break of 129.53 is, I think, kind of where we got, what we got to keep on our radar here. And again, you can set an alert for it. I think all those are good options. But hopefully, you guys grab this again. This is one of those clean entries that I was talking about, right? And again, we set the box at the bottom of the candle, again, where the movement happened, and that's how you're able to get your entry. All right. Um, Debbie's iron fist. Yeah, exactly. Um, Eurodollar is basically retracing. Here is where we stood yesterday. Strong push up. We hit about that 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then started to roll back down again. We were looking for 118.48. It didn't make it, and like I said, this is summer trading. Here's the pull up, and it kind of turned at this 4 o'clock kind of close, and has done nothing. Here's where the European market opened. Right, we had a little bit of a pullback, a punch higher, and then as of 4 o'clock, it started to roll back to the downside. I would say right now, obviously we have this kind of box here. Keep this 117.60 on view. We could draw a couple boxes. You could say, hey, listen, there's a zone here, right? You could, but again, it's the same zone that really kind of started back here again, and it hit it, and it hit it, and it hit it again. So it's not one that I'm really in love with for a reversal today. Could you use that if you were interested in taking something before, like a before news trade for FOMC? Sure, sure. And again, that's lining up pretty decently, right? By this driving down, this is dollar strength. The profit taking comes in, right? The profit taking comes in. Again, here is the European open right there. Oops. Right there. And again, that's your 4 o'clock window. So for the most part, the European market has driven this down. Profit taking is about due. And again, could we get in here for FOMC right there? Sure. Sure. I think that's pretty decent. Actually, let me do this. I might as well just do it. Let me see. Let me pull Nadex up. I want to see if there's like I don't, let me check call spreads real quick. Um, Euro dollar call spread, the dailies. Let's see. That figure is at approximately 1772. All right. So daily call spreads are out. There's nothing in that range. 1801 and then 1685. Okay, there's absolutely nothing in that one. Let me check knockouts real quick. And this is the problem. Like you would like the, you like the idea of what you're trying to put on there, but then there's just nothing that matches. All right. Okay, there is. Oof, that's close. There is a knockout sitting right here at 1771. There's a knockout sitting right there. So that may be that may it's in the zone, but you may be able to get that one pretty cheap. If we can kind of slow down a little bit or base below this area, there may be a decent risk to reward setup off of that. Of course, it's short this time. And again, I'm just kind of hypothetically drawing this one right now. Technically, I guess you get stopped out right there. But we get some type of a base in this level. There's a decent. Your 1 to 3 needs to go to there. That's not going to take much in a spike, right? That's not a huge spike there. So ideally, I'd like it if it was just beyond this level, these buyers here, but it's just before. That may be a limited risk entry trade getting in there for FOMC. So, just keep that one on your radar. And that level starts. And like I said, this is just hypothetical. That level starts though at I'll just move it over there so I can use it. 1777. All right. So again, knockout potential there. Pound yen. So pound yen, let's see. For pound yen, we were sitting right here yesterday, right? And again, we were in that area of buyers. We love this little pattern right there, right? Could you have gotten there at 9:30? You could have. It would have been quite aggressive though. Well, it did come up and grab it. It was a little bit over 2 to 1 in this case, and then pulled back up and hit it again and based and came up and grabbed the higher one, the 152.49. And then that one pushed down from entry about 33 pips. And again, reversed, but it reversed exactly where it should have. So this would have been one of those ones that probably wouldn't have been interested. Or if you were interested in getting into this one, you were getting out pretty fast because, again, this is a decent pullback. Drop a 2 candle base, right? And then a nice push out again. So, this was about 1 o'clock in the morning. So not surprising. And then again, it's been pretty decent. Um, This is one of those ones. Right now at the pound, I think it is getting into an area where we may have a bit of a pullback in the pound. But right now, you got to find these small levels. And again, that was a decent level, decent long trade in that one. Right now, we're really consolidating and playing back and forth. Obviously, here we had the original trade. You know, this one was good, right? There was your full profit target, and they get another small one at the 140, 152.40. So right now, I think I would keep this on the radar. That could be a let me see, 63.10. I think. Let's pull that across. Got a little bit of a hiccup going on right here. Although we pushed it pretty deep. So that's kind of where I'm looking for this on the top side. Um, there's a little bit of drama in here, but yeah, I would say this position's done. You guys see this here. Get some of these off. We could shrink this into this range here. That's fine. Keep that for later. Let's save that one for later. Yeah, I would say this one is again, if we don't start faltering right now, if this can start getting a little bit of strength back in it, I think 153.14 is again the next level. It was pushed pretty deep into that area. You can see when we form it. Let's see if we can do a 15 and refine it at all. Probably not. Yeah, we can refine it a little bit there. Right, but again, push to the brink. Push to the brink. I want. There we go. 153.20. Okay. 1 3 is right there. Okay. So we'll see if we can clear away from this. Obviously, this is being like a magnet. Top, 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 bottom, and it's coming through. So 153.23, I think is a decent area to get short there. So couple small setups of that one. We got to get out of this top area though. Like I said, this if we can get this at like a European Open, I don't think that's bad either. We're on a 15 minute. That's why I was like, why am I having to go so far here? Something along the lines there. That could be a decent area to go long too. Okay. All right, pound dollar. So pound dollar is just retracing. Yesterday we talked about it. Talked about a knockout here at 138.79. You can see that one was still valid. Again, chop back forth and through. Had you gotten into this one, I think your risk on it total, got into here was about 10, $15. If you take that whole area, right? Yeah, about $14 is where this one kind of initiated. And again, back and forth in here, you could have absolutely taken this. Right now, from that knockout, that one is sitting. It's pulled back right now, but about 32, but it was up about 53. It's 50 pips into that knockout to the downside. And again, a racetrack, so decent push to the downside. As I said, I think a lot of this is rallying up right now because there is a big expectation that they're going to say something about tapering, that something's good, but again, anything weak, not tapering, talking about how serious COVID is and things like that. Anything dovish, again, that sends the dollar straight down. That feeds us right into this 137.88. So again, knockout we talked about, still looking good. The other side of that knockout is it's the 38. So that's 136.45 or 40. Wait, 136.47. So when I say 136, I was close. 147. There you go. So again, very, very top. And again, targets on this one, I think safe targets are going to be at a 38.17, but 37.88 is decent. And then after that, we get kind of get back down to this level. So I don't think we'll go through the full knockout this week, but could we pull back down into this 137.40 area? Yeah, I think so. I think this one has about 100 pips to move. Um, so yeah, dollar CAD still in the same range. We were looking for it to come down, and it did. It came up first, and then came down from the release, and now it's pulled back again. The 120, and again, it's now had two hits. Actually, technically, I guess three, but again, didn't really pierce much. Didn't really pierce much. Didn't really even touch. Right. Um, Strong levels again. Dollar CAD hasn't really changed from yesterday. 127.28, 126.94. Small kind of previously violated level, sitting up here at well, I mean, the bottom side of it is 126.05. We're looking for if we can get when we finally do get the breakthrough. Again, we're trying to overcome all this, right? We're looking to when it finally breaks, we're looking for a push up. Okay, not quite there yet though. And again, 125.13 is another area we're willing to get long in this channel. But all it does is it went back to the middle again, found the same buyers, pulled right back up into the top where those buyers are. So dollar CAD should have some movement today with FOMC as well. Um, like I said, CAD hasn't really had like the best of news, but it seems like it's kind of under the radar for a lot of people. You know, um, yeah. As much as I would love to say that, hey, listen, I think they're going to be super strong dollar today. I just don't feel like they're going to be super strong dollar today. Um, so I feel like this has probably more of a probability of going down. As much as I'd love to look at this chart and be like, man, I cannot wait for this break. When this break occurs, we're going. It's going to be crazy. But right now, I think I think we're a little bit more at risk right now. Okay. Dollar Swiss still boring. Still boring. It knew we were sitting down there at 91.18, and it was like, haha, we're not going to do it. We're so close. We're not going to do it. 1 o'clock, it got close, and then again at 5 o'clock this morning. Both times fell in the same area and pushed higher. Um, 25 pips, top to bottom. That's it. So, I mean, it's very, very difficult to put any type of risk level into that or any type of a trade. We are back at that same area of interest again. If I kind of slide it across, you can see a touch, and then we're kind of basing in it. So, not much we can do there. Like I said, I'm kind of hoping we get some type of a spike, and I really don't care which direction, but it's like just get me out of this kind of range here. Give me a big spike so I can, trade the retracement for dollar Swiss. But you guys can see here. I'll move them across just to kind of slide them forward here on the 15 or on the 30. There we go. And again, we'll pull this one over here. There you go. All right, dollar yen. So dollar yen came back up, and we had a little bit of base, and we had a pullback. We had a level down here that we were looking for a break. We did get a break. It didn't really give us a great pullback. It went about 2/3 of the way and then came back and based. Once it based here, you're like, oh, it's probably not going. It's probably not going to move. And all it did, you guys can see if I kind of extend this across, right? Came all the way down about 2/3 of the way, came back up and it based here, popped and came back in and based again. And again, as soon as we had the second base, whatever side it was going out, you were looking for confirmation. It did pop, probably didn't get an entry, and again went long. So did not get it. We can delete it now. Next, Harry Potter to the downside is going to be here at 109.31. There is a long area down here where we could potentially get in at 109.88. Besides that, we got this level sitting right here, and that's the last time we really had anything clean. There's a couple small areas in here, and again, this is that area of interest. I wouldn't be surprised if we pull back, but kind of the same idea. Dollar yen is always difficult as well to play with FOMC because depending on what they say, it's whether great for the dollar or great for the stock market. And then kind of there's that counterplay between the two. So always a little bit harder, but I like those extreme levels. And then again, all the way up top, obviously. If we can take a big spike, I mean, that'd be awesome. If we could go 110.90, that would be incredible. Love that spike getting short up top, but those are our kind of areas here. And again, the one down here, it's set for a short, but you could potentially go long depending on when it was there. It is a bit far, though. I mean, we're talking 86 points. So it's well over an ATR right now to go to the downside. If anything, I'd expect it to grind higher. And then, again, maybe FOMC helps us come up and then we grind and roll back over. But right now it's going to be probably pretty boring. Indices. So let's drop them down. Yeah, kind of the same level, right? We'd pulled up to the level. There was your open. right? Your 915 open. And again, there would have been your the flat you were looking for. So decent short. Hopefully you guys were able to grab that one. It dropped about 17 points. Um, so again, based off those smaller time frames, there would have been your level, and you can see your 1 to 3 was right there. Okay, so well over in the first 15 minutes, and again, where you turned the 1 to 3 was perfect. Again, there was buyers, and you can see it's hit the buyers and stopped and stabilized. So on this one, again, waiting for this one to drop lower. You can set yourself an alert. Um, this could even be one of those like farther out of the money, right? I don't know. Let me see. Binaries. Curious to see this one now. 500 daily. Nice lag, Nadex. Nice lag. Let's see. That's 43.69. Let's see. 40. Yeah, like you could actually, there's actually a strike sitting down here, right? Mm, 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 mm. 43. What is it? Um, 43.65. 43.65. That one right there, $14 risk. And it does look like it does look like a lot, right? But for $14 risk, taking it off at 50, you're well over your 3 to 1 risk to reward ratio trade. Knowing that it's FOMC, I mean, it's a daily contract, so it does expire, after, it expires at 4:15, so there's plenty of time for that. With it kind of stabilizing up top, I mean, could they make an amazing comment about, like, we're going, it's going to be great? Sure, absolutely. But if they mention anything about tapering, cutting, anything, COVID being so bad, I mean, it's not going to take that much movement to drop that far. Um, it's only about $14 worth of risk. So I mean, again, just kind of some cheap things. And like I said, I expect, I really, I don't know. Like I said, last time was kind of like a lame duck, and we expected more out of it. I feel like they got to acknowledge it this time, and if they acknowledge it in a positive way, we could have a big burst forward, and vice versa in the other direction. 41.13. I mean, the other direction of this one is sitting up here at 41.13, right? 41.13 here. Actually, let me put it at maybe 16. We'll put it there. 65. This is the same thing. It is 15, right? So I mean, depending on what you believe, you got top or bottom. There's I would say decent breakouts in either one, but we may be able to get them a little bit cheaper as we get closer to expiration. We'll see. NQ. So NQ is kind of pulling back up again. Look at that 15,000 mark. 9:30 we collapsed all the way down and then came all the way right back up to 15,000. So that's one of those people that it's like, yep, we just broke above the psychological level of 15,000. Get long, and then off to the races. Again, decent little push right there. Again, that's a pretty clean entry. 9:30. Yeah, that's a nice little off the open. That's a nice little trade there. I don't know if anybody got that one. If you got that one, go ahead and let me know in chat. That'd be a nice one. But again, decent level of basing. Love the 3 candle base and a punch. That's a good trade. That's a good trade. Um, Obviously, I was with Todd. I did not take this one. Look at that. Problem is, it's so fast. Like you can't even see the drop in and the pullback. But yeah, nice little trade. Right now we're pushing through. I don't think this one has necessarily much of an issue. Again, we are approaching that reversal time, but this one's already kind of done its reversal. We know we don't really have a whole lot sitting there up until this level at 15,100. We're about 100 points shy of that. This one obviously can get volatile today, but right now, looking to the left, we're dealing with kind of a small area at 1550. Again, a little bit of psychological number being a halfway point, but I think overall, this probably threw a lot of people for a loop very, very fast. They saw the big red candle, like, holy crap, we're shorting. And then it went right back up again. I'm like, all right, we're going long now. So people are probably getting chopped up pretty good in NQ right now. But again, easy. Look at this. Easy open. Nice little base, pull back, everything. That looks good. Untested level. Um, yeah, I hope to God you guys were able to get this. But right now, I wouldn't be looking for much until this upper level. You could take this a couple ways. You could take it as a short. It's a decent short, right? The 15 over here, the 15 100. Again, just because it was a 9 o'clock open, literally straight down. It would be nice to be there by the time we get to FOMC, but that would be a heck of a lot of movement today in one day. I mean, we're up. This one is up 0.42, where everything else is down. So I mean, this is just really the outlier. Um, Again, a rally up into that level before FOMC could be a decent place to turn and roll, right? YM also a similar situation, literally just chopping back and forth. Again, we came up to that 35,000. Again, 35,000 is the big psychological number. 4,400, 35,000, and 15,000, all big, right? It hit it at the open. It was like, But again, is this because of COVID? Is this because, any expectations with the overall economy? Um, Again, we go over 35,000, the media is talking about. We're back over 35,000 again, and people take that as a sign of buying, and that's why it drops. Let me see if there's been any big news. Um, Market calm after route. What are they saying here? China convened. Virtual meeting executives. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love the first one. Love the first comment. Clowns. Um, Not really. Not really. There's been no big thing. So yeah, it's just the manipulation back and forth. So yeah, I still think this is a decent level here. I like the way that it formed. I like the base. Unable to get back to it again. All we're doing is literally chopping back and forth. I mean, at this point, if you take the basing right below this level, I mean, look at this. I mean, even more so if we take the basing here, hit it here, broke through, came back, base. It's literally just a channeling sideways. So I'm kind of rooting for this one to go lower. I'd love for this to get lower and get us an entry down here. Get us down to 34,689. But on a 15-minute candle, I mean, yeah, this was absolutely a short as well, right? If you were looking at that level, right? There's where we opened inside of a 15-minute level right at the open, and it's been nothing but straight down. So, again, opening trades. And this has been the day of opening trades. There's your 1 to 3. So you can see we're well beyond it at this point. Um, Heck, right now we're at 1 to 4.7. But 1 to 3 was sitting right there, right? So decent opening trade. I'm sure I'm sure you're out there. Will, I'm positive you got this one because you've been. Actually, I'm probably. I can't see it. Let's see. Let's see yet. Let's see futures. I got another Fibonacci guy. Nope, I don't see it yet, but I'm pretty sure Will and Carl would have caught both one of these two at least. Both of them were decent from the open setups, so those are good. All right, let's go across and let's do oil. So oil, not doing much, right? Not doing much. Again, European session. I mean, here's where the European session opened. The U.S. session opened at that same exact spot. So right now we are in a major kind of consolidation area. This is a 15-minute chart, and it's really not doing a whole lot. We got oil inventory reports in 8 minutes, and again, even dropping it down to a 1 minute. Does it look like it's really moving in any particular direction? I would say not really, right? I mean, we had a lot of stabilization here around 10 o'clock. It's kind of slowing down, but is there a trend right now? Not really, right? I mean, we had this one push from 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, it sent it back down again, and then by 6:30, we were in the same exact spot, right? It all got kind of worked out of the system. And if you take that kind of mean, this is a 1 minute chart, so it looks crazy. But if you take like the mean price right here, right, a little bit above, a little bit of a top, I mean, that's kind of your mean average there. We're literally right there on top of it. So I would say, as far as oil goes, it's really not giving us a lot to work with right now. Um, let's bring this up and see if I can even get anything on a 5. I mean, look at this. It's literally up, down, down, up, down, up, down. Yeah, I mean, this is really a non-trading market. I mean, as far as trading this news-wise, it's really not in a level whatsoever. I mean, look at that. It's major consolidation beforehand. Doesn't mean we won't have if this is a big miss, it doesn't mean we won't have a big kind of piece on it, or a big spike. Let me see how much premium is jacked in this one. Did they um Yeah, there's a decent amount of premium in there. I was trying to. I jumped over the call spreads. It's like $24 risk for an out of the money contract call spread on the 2 hour for the top side. Kind of like, kind of a lot of risk for a 2 hour. 27 to the downside. Yeah, so they're expecting there's a lot of volatility baked into that one, at least call spread wise. Let me see commodities, crude oil, 72. The fact that they're 40 cents apart on the daily drives me insane. 40 cents, right? 40 cents is what the strike differential is right now. That's insane. Like I get it, we've had some very, very volatile days, but 40 cents, right? 40 cents. Let's have 35 contracts you can trade, but it, in you know, with a daily ATR, if it goes in just one direction, we're gonna do five. Total five. But yet we got like 30 of them in here. Come on, guys. It's not right. It's not actually 30, but it's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of premiums snuck in this one. Let me see. Crude oil. Um, no, there's no knockouts close either. The knockout pricing is insane. Closest knockout is up there at 73. Right? So we kind of need a spike and a reversal in this one. As I would say right now, I mean, there's no major 30-minute level in this one. I don't really see anything that I love in it. It's kind of like, I mean, I guess, I mean, on a 5-minute basis, I guess you could say that, listen, we've had, some buyers step into here, right? But we got 5 minutes and we're not even in there yet, right? I mean, maybe you could have taken something long off of that one, but I feel like FOMC is foreshadowing this one a lot. Right. I mean, typically between 8:30 and 10:30 is we see a majority of movement, and it's done squat. So we'll see. Gold. So yeah, gold has come down. So earlier, and again, this is on the 5 minute. When we were looking at the 30-minute here before, I was talking about price coming down, and we are sitting in a level. So at this point now, at being at 10:30, this is where we talked about being, right? Where we expected price to go down to. Again, European session move at 11, 12 o'clock is where we tend to get those reversals. So I would say it's more set up in the long. Do I have a defined area of risk that I like here? Not really. I mean, because it's all this is just garbage, right? Um, there is a knockout at, there's a knockout sitting there, right? It's not at 92.08. It's just 92 flat. You guys understand that, right? Knockout there. Then there's one. Then the next one's not till 82, right? Then the next one is all the way down here at 82. Right? So I mean, right now I'd say it's more set up for long, but again, that's going to require them to make some type of a statement that's in an aggressive fashion, which again will help roll the indices over again. So it's kind of set if we follow the pattern that we've been seeing. It's an area where buyers have stepped in. It's ugly, but there's a bunch of buyers sitting in there. And again, right now, um, problem is this one is in the money, so it's like $88 risk on a knockout with $412, potential profit on the top side. Um, yeah, kind of a lot. Silver. Silver on the 30-minute has just flatlined. Hoping it was going to come down, not done much. Um, yeah, I mean, there's no trend. I mean, the silver's basically been here now for almost 24 hours inside of this same little 9 cent window. So, yeah. And again, silver, it's too early for silver. I'd wait to watch silver till later. But, I think there's a decent level up top. I think there's decent buying. Probably down here, although I don't think we're getting to it. We kind of need to move this one. And again, we'll adjust this down and turn that into a yellow. Um, yeah, it's just boring. Stop with the sideways stuff. Let me unlock that and bring that across. Yeah, not much there. Let's see, 2573 is good up top. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not in love with silver either right now. I think silver goes up today, though. I will say, I am I am more bullish on silver today. I think gold and silver. I think you have every right to be bullish today. I feel like they're going to pretty. I feel like they're going to disappoint a lot of people today in what they say, but I do feel like both of them today are buys. Um, like I said, oil is look, it's even pulling back. Trying to see if we can get another good news based trade in here, but I mean, if anything, it looks like it's trying to set up for a long, right? It's trying its best to set up for a long, but I just don't know if it's gonna. It's we're looking for stabilization. Okay, if this was any other time frame, there's like a 30 meter, like yeah, it's an area of buying, right? I like it, I like it. But price didn't really. Price stopped here at 1020, kind of in a level, but not really. This is more set up for a long right now than anything else. So. Um, All right, don't forget, enter your tickets. Let's see what the oil inventory report. Oops. Let's go back to all this. Boom. Let's see what the oil inventory report comes in as. Put your tickets in. Tickets, tickets. Put your tickets in. Look at this. Zero. Um, Come on. I know you have the data. Oh, there we're at -2 now. Wow, that was pretty close. That was pretty close to what the API number was. Look at that. 4147. That was decent. That was decent. Right? Pretty decent. And again, there's your oil pop from it, right? So again, setting up more pull down didn't really give us the stabilization that we like though. But a decent push. I mean, that's that's 33 cents. That's pretty much that's about as much movement as we got in the entire session thus far from 8:30 till now. So, but again, that's why I watch them. But just a ton of premium jacked into that one, unfortunately. So, but yeah, good number. Good number. Go API. You were pretty close this time. Gotta love it. All right. Big question is it going to be able to make it through these sellers now? Again, this is a 1 minute, so just keep that be aware of that. But there's where kind of the overnight seller stepped in as well as back in here. So let's see if this kind of comes and rolls back down again, since that was basically the expectation. So all right. So Nora won yesterday. So he is going for his 100 today. It is Wednesday, so everybody else is going for their 50 pip chips. And let's see. All right. Anybody else? I'll give you guys like another 30 seconds to get this in. I got to get rolling because I know Melissa needs to jump on a call, and the baby is like, "Where's mommy?" Needy girl. Three. All right, here we go. Three, two, one. Boom. Let's call it. All right. Winner of today's drawing is what do we got in here? Ross. Look at that, Ross. Ross, I swear, you and Eki are like, you guys get the 50 pip Wednesdays. I feel like you guys dominate those two. Even actually, Silence done pretty well with them too. But I feel like the two of you guys, I feel like are I feel like you guys are like, I don't know. I mean, it's obviously it's all equal, right? I mean, there's no. I've showed you guys the settings a million times. There's no preference for anybody in the channel, whether you're a subscriber or not a subscriber. But it's pretty interesting that you guys keep snagging those Wednesdays, right? And the crowd goes wild. Everybody's like, "Go Ross!" Yes, it wasn't Neuro or Ernest. And Will's like, "Yep." Will's like, 5 more months and 3 days, or I guess 4 more months and 3 days. Um, Look at that. Look at oil. See, told you that would be an interesting kind of play. Look at that. Very, very, very fast spike up. Everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's good. It's green. I gotta buy it." And then bam, initial roll back over. Look at that. Gained 30 cents and lost 10 cents 2 minutes later. This is why oil is so crazy how it whips around. But look at that. Again, nice little long entry. And again, it is what it is. So, all right. With that said, guys, I am out of here. I got to roll. I got to get the baby. But I will see you guys tomorrow morning again. 8:45 to 9 on Nadex's YouTube page. And then we'll be back on at 9:30 tomorrow morning. How do you win with 8% chance rate? I know. Ernest. Everybody was basically around 8.33, right? It's not like he had a point 0.8 chance of winning, right? 1 in 10 people. I mean, he was pretty close to that 10%, right? Just for simple rounding, 1 in 10 people, right? You know, that's what Will keeps telling himself, right? Ross is like, I'm just that lucky, bro. Harvesting some salt. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. If you need anything, shoot me a message on Discord. I am around today, and I want to be on the PC trading, so shoot me a message if you need it. Clean living. Tofu burgers for all. You guys take care. I'll catch you tomorrow.